The world was quiet at first. Morning came like any other morning. Children went to school, workers drove to offices, and soldiers trained in their bases. But then the shadows came. Dark shapes began to spread across the sky, larger than any storm. Cloud. People looked up in fear. The shapes grew wider, blocking the sun. Soon the world realized these were not clouds. They were ships. Massive alien warships broke through the clouds, their black metal bodies stretching for miles. The air trembled. The ground shook. Windows shattered from the sound of engines that were not of Earth. Panic began everywhere. In New York, cars crashed as drivers stared at the sky. In Tokyo, people screamed and ran through the streets. In Paris, church bells rang without reason, as if the world itself was warning of danger. News spread faster than fire. Phones rang. TVS switched to emergency broadcasts. Governments sent out alarms. The world spoke in one voice. Aliens had arrived. The ships hovered above cities New York, London, Beijing, Moscow, and more. Their shadows covered entire districts. When the ships stopped moving, silence fell. No bird sang. No car horn sounded. The world held its breath. Then a voice came. It was deep, cold, and filled with pride. It did not come from radios or phones. It came from the air itself. People of Earth, the voice said, submit or Earth will burn. The words echoed across mountains and seas. Children cried. Parents held their families close. Some dropped to their knees, praying. Others shouted in anger, refusing to bow. Inside government rooms, leaders argued. Some demanded surrender, saying humanity had no chance against such power. Others slammed their fists on tables, swearing to fight to the last breath. Soldiers around the world scrambled into position. Jets launched, tanks rolled, and missiles were readied. Yet many of them felt fear. How could human weapons stand against? Ships larger than cities? On the alien ships, commanders laughed. They saw humans running, crying, shouting. To them, this was weakness. To them, humans were small, primitive creatures. One alien captain, standing tall in silver armor, said to his crew, "They will fall within hours. Earth is ours." The aliens began to descend. Doors opened on the massive ships. Strange craft, like black wings, flew down and landed in human cities. The ground cracked under their weight. For the first time in history, alien feet touched Earth's soil. Their bodies were tall, their armor bright, their weapons glowing with strange energy. They looked at humans with disdain, like masters looking at slaves. "Submit," one alien commander shouted, "or be destroyed." Some humans screamed, some ran, some fell to their knees in fear. The aliens laughed again. They saw no challenge, no true resistance, but something strange began to happen. In the silence of underground rooms and hidden bunkers. Earth's leaders did not panic. They sat before glowing screens, eyes cold, hands steady. Messages were passed between them, quiet and fast. A hidden signal was sent. It traveled not by radio, not by internet, but through secret channels no alien could detect. The signal reached every continent. It was passed in silence, coded in ways no alien could read. Soldiers in secret bases received it. Scientists in hidden labs received it. Even quiet farmers in remote lands, who had been waiting for years, received it. No words were spoken aloud. No order shouted. Just one signal, shared in silence. The aliens did not notice. They were too busy mocking humans, too busy enjoying their first steps on Earth. But the humans noticed. In the silence, they began to move differently. Soldiers, who had been shaking, now stood straight. Scientists who had been hiding their research now unlocked strange devices. Families who had been running now stopped, waiting. A strange calm spread across Earth. The aliens saw it. They frowned. Why were the humans not screaming as before? Why did their fear suddenly vanish? In one city, an alien patrol noticed something chilling. The humans there were not panicking. They were standing still, quiet, almost, waiting. The alien commander felt a shiver run through him. He whispered to his officer, "Why are they calm? What do they know that we do not?" No answer came. Only silence. And somewhere deep underground, a human general looked at the signal flashing on his screen. He did not smile. He did not speak. He simply nodded and whispered to himself. They have no idea what waits for them. The world above was filled with alien laughter. But beneath the surface, Earth was waking up. The audience is left with one question. What secret is Earth hiding? The aliens did not wait long. In the center of every city they landed, they raised tall black towers. These towers glowed with strange blue light. The light pulsed, sending waves through the air. Radios stopped working. Internet signals died. Human technology failed piece by piece. The aliens stood in their shining armor, holding weapons that hummed with power. Their voices boomed across streets. "Humans," one of them shouted, "your world now belongs to the Empire. You will obey us. Those who resist will be destroyed." People listened in fear. Some cried. Some begged for mercy. Some tried to fight. But their bullets bounced off the alien armor like stones thrown at steel. The aliens laughed. They thought it was over already. In London, alien soldiers walked proudly through the streets, kicking down doors, dragging people out, and mocking their fear. In New York, one alien raised his weapon and burned a human tank into ashes with a single shot. The crowd screamed. In Beijing, alien commanders planted their flag on the ground and declared the city there's everywhere. The message was the same. Earth was conquered. But not everyone bowed. In one small village, far from the big cities, aliens arrived expecting fear. Instead, they found silence. The villagers did not scream. They did not run. They stood together, watching with steady eyes. An alien officer sneered and shouted, "Bow to us." The villagers did not move. They did not kneel. They only looked at the sky, waiting. The aliens grew angry. They raised their weapons. But just as they prepared to fire, their radios went dead. Their glowing screens turned black. Their signals vanished. The aliens froze. Something had cut there. Connection. One alien whispered, "What is happening?" No one answered. The silence was heavy, frightening. In another part of the world, a small alien squad entered an old military base in the desert. They expected to find abandoned walls and weak humans hiding in fear. Instead, they found nothing. No humans, no weapons, no movement. "Strange," the alien captain muttered. "Our scans showed life here." The squad moved deeper inside. The halls were dark, the air cold. Step by step, their armor lights flickered. Suddenly, the doors behind them slammed shut. The aliens shouted, banging on the steel, but the doors did not open. The walls began to hum. Energy surge. One alien cried, "It's a trap!" Before they could react, the base exploded with blinding light. The squad's screams filled the halls, then silence. From orbit, alien commanders saw only a flash on their screens. Then nothing. An entire squad gone. No signal. No survivors. Whispers spread among the alien ranks. Did humans plan this? One asked. The commanders silenced them with anger. "Do not fear these primitives. They are nothing." But doubt had already taken root. Back on Earth, the calm among humans continued. Soldiers stood straighter. Scientists worked faster. Families no longer wept in panic. It was as if all of them knew something. The aliens noticed. They whispered among themselves. Why were the humans not afraid anymore? Why did they look like people waiting for a storm they had already prepared for? In Moscow, an alien officer shouted at a crowd of humans, "Why do you not beg for mercy? Speak." But the humans stayed silent. The officer felt his skin crawl. He fired his weapon into the sky in anger. The beam burned bright, but the humans did not flinch. "What is this?" The alien hissed. "Why do they look at us like that?" One of his soldiers whispered, "Commander, maybe they know something. We don't." The commander growled, but deep inside, he too felt unease. That night, as alien fleets circled Earth, strange signals began to appear in their systems. They were faint, coded, unreadable. The aliens tried to track them but failed. Noise. One technician said, "Nothing to worry about." But the noise was everywhere. It filled their systems, growing stronger every hour. In human bunkers, generals smiled for the first time in days. The signal was spreading exactly as planned. Still, no alien understood what it meant. In Washington, an alien commander stood before his soldiers. "Tomorrow we break the last of their defenses. By this time tomorrow, Earth will be on its knees." But as he spoke, his words were drowned out by a chilling sight outside. Hundreds of humans standing in silence, watching the alien tower without fear. The commander's voice faltered. For the first time, he felt something he had never known before. Not anger, not pride, but fear. The audience is left with one burning question. Why are humans so calm in the face of death? What are they hiding that even the invaders cannot see? The aliens thought victory was near. Their ships hung over Earth like black clouds. Their soldiers patrolled the streets with glowing weapons. Their commanders declared Earth theirs. But then something began to change. At first, it was small. An alien patrol disappeared in the forests of South America. They had been chasing a few humans, but never returned. Commander sent another patrol. That patrol vanished. Reports came from Africa. Alien transports went silent in the desert. From Asia, a squad lost contact inside old mountain tunnels. From Europe, drones were swallowed by storms that seemed to come from nowhere. One by one, alien units were vanishing. At first, commanders thought it was equipment failure. Primitive planet, they said. Strange terrain, nothing more. But deep down, fear was growing. The truth was this: humans were not running. They were preparing. In the ruins of old cities, soldiers hid in tunnels, waiting with weapons the world had never seen before. In underground labs, scientists worked beside the military, activating strange machines. Machines that looked too advanced for Earth. For years, in silence, humanity had been studying alien signals, alien wreckage, alien energy. They had built weapons not yet known to the galaxy. Now, the time to use them had come. In the deserts of Nevada, an alien hover tank rolled forward, firing beams of blue light that melted human steel. Soldiers hid behind the dunes. The aliens laughed, thinking they had crushed resistance. Then the sand beneath the tank exploded. A hidden launcher rose from the ground, firing a single spear of light. The beam tore through the alien tank, slicing it apart in one shot. The alien crew screamed. The tank fell silent. In the jungles of South America, alien scouts tracked human footsteps. They followed the trail deeper, their scanners searching. Suddenly, their scanners went blind. Every system turned black. Before they could move, the trees themselves lit up. Hidden charges, buried for years, detonated all at once. Fire swallowed the scouts. The jungle returned to silence. In Europe, a group of aliens entered an old underground station. They thought it was empty. Instead, they found walls painted with strange symbols, human warnings. Before they could retreat, the station sealed. Gas filled the air. Within minutes, the squad lay still on the ground, The commanders watching from orbit grew uneasy. "What is happening?" one demanded. "These creatures are supposed to be weak." But reports kept coming. Units gone. Squads missing. Weapons destroyed. And then something even stranger appeared. Alien fleets above Earth detected energy spikes rising from below the surface. At first, they thought it was human missiles. But the readings were far stronger, far more complex. "What are they doing?" one alien scientist asked, staring at the screen. "This is not primitive technology." "No," another replied, trembling. "This looks advanced." On the ground, alien soldiers noticed something else. Humans no longer looked afraid. When patrols marched through villages, people did not scream. They did not run. They only watched. One alien officer shouted at them, "Why do you stare? Why do you not beg?" But no answer came. Only silence. The officer felt his hands shake. His soldiers whispered to him, "Sir, they are waiting for something." The officer could not speak. He looked at the calm faces of the humans and felt a fear he had never known. In the deserts, in the jungles, in the mountains, everywhere humans had been hiding, they now rose with hidden weapons. Missiles that flew without heat. Bullets that cut through alien shields. Bombs that moved like shadows, impossible to detect. The aliens were stunned. None of this matched their knowledge of Earth. One alien commander finally admitted the truth. His voice shook as he spoke to his council. "They were waiting for us." The council froze. For the first time since landing, silence filled the alien chamber. If humans had been waiting, if they had been planning, then Earth was not weak at all. It was a trap, and the aliens had walked straight into it. That night, the skies above Earth burned. Human counterattacks began in full. Hidden bases launched weapons that no alien scatter could block. Fleets in orbit shook as strange beams rose. From Earth's surface, cutting through ships like knives through paper, alien communications fell into chaos. Orders clashed. Fleets broke formation. Soldiers shouted in confusion. From the shadows, humanity struck with precision. Every hit was deliberate. Every move was planned. In the silence of a hidden bunker, a human general whispered, "Phase 1 complete. Begin Phase 2. And somewhere, deep below the Earth, a machine the galaxy had never seen before awakened. The war that aliens thought would end in hours dragged into days. And those days turned into fear. In orbit, the fleets that circled Earth reported strange losses. At first, it was one ship, then another, and another. Entire squadrons went silent. Their signals vanished. Their engines died. Commanders tried to call them, but no answer came. The screens showed only black. "Signal them again." One commander shouted. "We have, sir," a technician replied. "There is nothing." "They are gone." The alien fleet grew restless. Ships began to drift away from formation, scanning the darkness of space. But the darkness gave no answers. On the ground, it was no better. Alien patrols sent reports of humans striking with new weapons, then went silent forever. Towers that had been planted in cities began to fall, destroyed by sudden explosions. The Empire had come with laughter and pride. Now, whispers of fear spread among its soldiers. In one city, alien commanders gathered to speak. Their tall, armored figures glowed under blue lights. Their voices were sharp, almost desperate. "These humans should have surrendered by now," one said. "They should have broken within the first day," another growled. "Instead, they fight harder," a third whispered. "And they fight with weapons we cannot explain." Silence followed. They all knew the truth. Earth was not weak. Far away, other alien empires were watching. From hidden stations beyond Earth's skies, they observed the invasion. At first, they had laughed. They had called humans a child species, a noisy world, a planet of animals. But now, The laughter was gone. Reports reached their councils. Fleets disappearing, squads erased, towers destroyed, humans fighting without fear. The galaxy, for the first time in centuries, felt something it had long forgotten. Uncertainty. Back in orbit, one alien ship detected a strange energy wave. It was small, almost invisible, but it spread fast, touching every fleet system. Screens flickered, engines stuttered. What is this? The ship captain demanded. Unknown interference, the technician said. His hands shook. It's coming from Earth. The captain froze. From Earth? That is impossible. But the readings did not lie. Something hidden deep below the planet was sending energy into the void. It was not an attack. It was something worse. It was a warning. Across the galaxy, listening posts began to pick up the same signal. It was faint, almost silent. But it carried weight. It carried power. The galaxy's rulers leaned close to their screens. They did not understand the code, but they understood the meaning. The signal was not a cry for help. It was a message of control. The humans were not afraid. They were prepared. On the ground, alien soldiers grew restless. They began to argue with each other. Some wanted to retreat to their ships. Others shouted that retreat was shameful. One officer slammed his weapon into the ground. We are the Empire. No primitive. World can defeat us. But even as he shouted, his communicator buzzed with static. The voice of his commander came through, panicked. Return at once. The fleets above are falling silent. The officer froze. His soldiers looked at him with wide eyes. Fleets falling silent? That could not be true. And yet they knew it was. In orbit, entire armadas blinked off the radar. Thousands of lives vanished without a sound. No explosions, no escape pods, no distress calls. Just silence. The alien commanders tried to send warnings back to their homeworlds, but their messages were blocked. The signals never left Earth's skies. The galaxy listened. The galaxy waited. And the galaxy grew quiet. In a hidden human base deep underground, generals studied the reports. They spoke in calm voices, no fear in their tone. They are beginning to understand, one general said. Another nodded. Good. Let the silence spread. Fear will do the rest. The aliens above did not know it yet, but every move they made was already predicted. Every strike they planned was already countered, because Earth had been waiting for this day. In the streets of ruined cities, humans rose from the rubble, their eyes steady, their hands gripping strange new weapons. They moved like shadows, striking without sound. Aliens fired wildly, their glowing beams cutting buildings apart, but they hit nothing. Humans vanished before their eyes, only to reappear where they least expected. Alien commanders shouted, but their orders reached no one. Their radios were silent. Their fleets were silent. Their empire was silent. In the galactic council halls far away, rulers argued in fear. What if humans win? One asked. They cannot, another said, though his voice shook. The empire is too strong. Then why? The first replied. Have they not answered us in days? The room fell quiet. The only sound was the silent signal coming from Earth. And silence, they realized, was more terrifying than war. The alien empire had expected glory. Instead, it found silence. For days, their fleets hung above Earth like vultures circling prey. But one by one, the vultures vanished. Ships that had once blotted out the stars no longer answered calls. Patrols, sent down to cities, never returned. The Empire's commanders grew restless. They shouted, they threatened, they promised swift victory. But deep inside, their voices carried doubt. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. On the ground, alien troops had begun to notice details. Strange devices hidden in buildings. Old bases, suddenly alive with power. Human soldiers carrying weapons that shimmered with energy. No scanner could explain. It was not possible. Earth was supposed to be primitive. Earth was supposed to be weak. But weakness did not look like this. In a bunker buried deep under stone and steel, human generals stood around glowing screens. Calm, silent, patient. On the largest screen, a single word pulsed again and again. Eclipse. One young officer finally asked, "Sir, do we activate it?" The general, a gray-haired man with eyes like iron, shook his head slowly. "Not yet. Let them feel it first." Above ground, alien soldiers demanded answers. In New York, a commander stood in the ruins of a city square. His soldiers surrounded hundreds of humans who did not run, did not scream, did not bow. He raised his weapon. "Why do you not fear us?" he shouted. A man from the crowd stepped forward. His clothes were torn. His face was hard, but his voice was calm. "You think you see everything," he said, "but you see nothing." Before the commander could reply, the ground beneath him shook. A hidden door burst open. Human soldiers rose from underground with weapons that glowed like lightning. The aliens opened fire, but their beams struck invisible walls' shields, something humans should never have had. In seconds, the aliens were struck down. The commander fell to his knees, eyes wide. He whispered, "Impossible." Before the light consumed him. News of the battle spread fast. Aliens whispered in fear. "They are not supposed to have this power," one said. "They must have stolen it," another replied. But none of them believed their own words. From orbit, the alien high command demanded answers. "What is this Project Eclipse we keep hearing in intercepted signals?" But no one could answer. Their computers failed to decode the human transmissions. Their intelligence officers found only fragments, strange diagrams, encrypted numbers, maps that made no sense. Until one alien scientist, old and scarred, whispered in horror, "They have been preparing. For years, perhaps for decades. They built something we cannot see." The commanders turned pale. "Built what?" The scientist looked down. His voice cracked. "A weapon." That night, the truth began to break. In the skies above Earth, alien fleets that tried to regroup suddenly blinked out one by one. Not destroyed in fire, not blown apart in battle, simply silenced. No engines, no weapons, no voices. Just gone. Other alien empires, listening from far away, grew uneasy. This was not war. This was something different. Something colder. In there. Councils, leaders whispered, "Is Earth hiding a new machine?" "No," one replied. "Not new. Old. Very old. They have been waiting for this." Back on Earth, the gray-haired general finally stood. His hand rested on a key locked in steel. His officers watched in silence. "Project Eclipse," he said, his voice low but steady, "was not made to save us." The officers frowned. Then, "Why was it made?" The general turned, his face grim. "To make sure no empire ever tries this again." One officer swallowed. "You mean it will not just defend Earth?" The general nodded. "It will silence their stars." Meanwhile, in alien camps across Earth, panic grew. Soldiers reported their weapons failing, their armor shutting down. Ships above could not resupply them. Every hour their power dimmed, while human strength grew. The aliens begged their commanders for answers. But even the commanders no longer had faith. Whispers ran through their ranks. "Earth has a weapon. Earth planned this. Earth will kill us all." And in the deepest part of the planet, under oceans, mountains, and deserts, machines that had slept for years awakened. Their hum rose through the ground, unheard by human ears, but felt by alien hearts. It was not the sound of defense. It was the sound of judgment. The empire had come with laughter. Now its voice was trembling. and across the galaxy, rulers who once mocked Earth fell into silence, terrified of the name now carried in secret transmissions. Project Eclipse. The world was no longer the same. The alien fleet that once hung above Earth was gone. Their ships burned, broken, or drifting empty in the sky, were silent. For the first time, the galaxy itself seemed to hold its breath. Billions on Earth stood in stunned silence as screens across cities and villages replayed the final moments. The humans had not only survived, they had crushed the invaders. What terrified the galaxy more was how it happened. No one saw Earth's great armies rise, because there were none. No massive fleets launched from the oceans, because none were needed. Instead, humanity had awakened something different, something older, something hidden deep within the Earth itself. Whispers spread across space. Some called it the Sleeper Fleet. Others said Earth had buried ancient technology from forgotten wars. A few feared it was something far worse, something alive beneath the planet's surface. The galaxy demanded answers, but Earth gave none. Earth's leaders spoke only one sentence to the Council of Worlds: "Do not test us again." On the ground, survivors of the invasion began to rebuild. Cities in ruins rose again, but this time stronger. People who once lived in fear of aliens now walked with pride. Children pointed at the sky not with terror, but with courage. The aliens who had landed on Earth never returned home. Some were captured, some disappeared, and some had seen something so terrible in Earth's final strike that they could not even speak. Their silence spread fear faster than any weapon. Even alien empires that had once mocked Earth now sat quietly in their grand halls, whispering in low voices. They replayed the battle again and again, studying the strange energy that had torn through their strongest ships. It was not plasma. It was not lasers. It was something new. Something human. In the shadows of Earth's command centers, secret councils met. They spoke of the hidden signal that had been sent before the battle. A signal not to the stars, but deep beneath the Earth. What had answered that signal? Some said it was machines, giant war machines, humanity had sworn to never use again. Others whispered it was something worse, something that had not been built, but awakened. Whatever the truth, one fact was clear. Humanity was no longer just another weak planet. Humanity had entered the stage of the galaxy with power no one understood. Rumors spread fast. Across distant empires, alien rulers silenced their armies. Fleets that had been preparing for conquest suddenly halted. None dared to be the next to test Earth. Merchants, smugglers, and spies carried only one story through the stars of a small blue world that had stood against an empire and survived. A world that hid its strength until the last moment. A world that no longer feared anyone. In the end, the galaxy was silent. Not because Earth demanded it, not because Earth had destroyed an empire, but because fear itself had taken hold. Far above, in Earth's orbit, the broken pieces of alien ships still floated. Human engineers studied them, learning every secret they could. Soldiers who once held rifles now held alien technology in their hands. Scientists worked day and night, fusing human creativity with alien power. And beneath it all, the secret of the hidden signal remained. Locked away, whispered only among a few. Humanity had awakened something once. The galaxy prayed it would never awaken it again. In the years to come, children would ask their parents what happened the day the aliens came. The parents would answer simply, "They thought we were weak. They thought wrong." And in the quiet of the night, when the stars shone above, Earth itself seemed to whisper a warning to the galaxy. "We are awake now. Do not forget us."